What up, everybody out there in podcast land? Thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode of Ken Ross Present, the Yeah I Said It podcast. We express it with our full capabilities. Tim might want us in correctional facilities, brainchild of my child. I am the dad half of this operation, Ross Cooper. As always, I am rocking with the best. My co-host, please introduce yourself to the folk.
Good cat. Need to learn how to be a tiger. Yeah, I was good. Everybody's having a good day, month, year, hour, second, all that good stuff. You watch on any other platforms. Please share with your friends, your families, your pets, your enemies, bug on the wall, mailman outside, aliens outside, earthquakes, all that. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Because if you don't, you want to say hello to my friend behind me.
Why we
Coming to
gotta,
get you.
why we gotta involve Bengal tigers, yo? It's the biggest cat on the planet. Actually, it's the biggest pure cat. The liger is actually the biggest cat, but that's a
That's
time.
an
That's a.
abomination. It's not real. So let's go.
I'd like to see you say that to a liger's face. But anywho,
Can it move? We can't even move.
oh, how do we get here already? How do we get here already? um, but under any circumstances, we are joined by another awesome guest, another good friend of mine. We go back. We have had many a long conversation about much stuff that we're probably going to cover now. But yeah, it's only right to find a beer on the show. I call it a CJ, but please introduce yourself to the folk, my man.
Hey, I'm Courtney. Good to be here.
All right. Um, we're gonna jump in. This is we've been captivated the last few weeks by West Coast beef. Well, West Coast Canadian beef. West Coast beef, Canadian bacon. Um, sadly, we had things brought back in a bad way, musically speaking. Uh, Puff Diddy, Puff Daddy, Diddy, Puffy, Brother Love, whatever moniker he's going by these days, outside of not being in the country. A video has surfaced of just epic, ugly proportion of him pretty much beating the crap out of Cassie. Um, I hate that we've seen it's a double-edged sword because obviously I hate that we've seen it, but it goes back to something I've said a while ago. A lot of people have said, start believing black women the first time. When there were rumblings about R. Kelly, no, they just out for a check. And I'm seeing a pattern. Whenever someone says, "Hey, this person put their hands on me," no, you just out for a check. Well, we just saw in broad daylight. No, there's no check involved. And I did see an Ashy, of course, try to say, well, that's what she get. She should have never left. She was with some dude before Diddy. I don't know. I don't remember. And he allegedly was a good guy. Then she got with Diddy, and then finally left and got her husband now. But this is just a mess. Did he issue some what I deem BS apology? Um, and he's been raided by the feds, somehow still walking around free. I have no idea. Because usually when the feds come to your door, when you see them windbreakers, you leave in cuffs. Somehow this cat is free, probably hanging out with Russell Simmons somewhere. But we will start from the top because some of this is just speculation. What are the odds? Anyone can jump in here. I'll go last. I don't think he's going to be free much longer. I suspect, what is this, May? I think by end of summer he'll be in cuffs. What do you all think?
Yeah, I think once CNN got a hold of it, and him being for like 20 years ago, he was more just like rapper producer, but now people look at him as more of a larger than life icon type of person. So once the mainstream media gets a hold of things, it's no longer the black community's little dirty secret that we're just going to keep sweeping under the rug.
Ooh, good point. Good. Yeah, yeah. Gang, thoughts? You think oh the diddler gonna be in cuffs at any point soon, anytime soon?
Nope, because you already been in cuffs. Like I said, they raided his house for something else. They weren't there for him. Because he would have, like you said, if the feds come knocking, you usually going with him. He didn't. And they can't do nothing about that video because that happened too long ago. So he's not getting arrested for that. So what is he gonna get arrested
It's
for?
the trafficking. Allegedly, in his freak off parties, there were some women that some girls, not women, some girls that may not have been of age.
Oh,
That's what's gonna get you.
I know that. I'm saying if they had enough evidence to raise your house, because you have a lot of blackmail videos of all the elites, celebrities, and rappers and yada yada doing some suspect stuff, right? Or having things happen to them. So where are them tapes? That's what they went to go get. Because you don't know who the hell else is involved. This is some Epstein type shit. Because, like I said, we still don't know his clients and who was involved in that. So, unless they
It,
make Diddy the fall guy like Epstein, what's going to happen? Nothing. He going to be chilling where he chilling right now. Because
I was
they
gonna say
can't touch him.
the problem where and you just touched on the ultimate plot twist in all of this, and by no means am I wishing this to be the case. But in the same manner, Epstein allegedly somehow offed himself. It's if there's some very interesting names and faces on those tapes
There is.
from his freak off parties.
There is.
Um, I got two options here. I got three possible scenarios, and I haven't weighed out which one. A, he stays gone like Roman Polanski and just stays in a whole non-extradition country.
Mhm.
Uh, B, we see the Epstein route because he knows too much about too many people in too many high places. Or C, he actually gets R. Kelly'd and see you later, bye bye for tall numbers.
That ain't happening. That last one
You
ain't happening.
like I said, when the feds come knocking, it's
Nothing
it,
happened.
yet.
It's not yet.
Yeah,
He's already gone.
he might be ready to start making plans to go hang out with Russell for a little while.
I think they are in the same place. So, there's nothing you can. It's too late. That was your shot. What are you gonna do now? Because if you do bring him back, I'm sure he has no problem burning everyone, which will lead to the
Yeah,
Epstein route. So I'm pretty sure they're advising him just stay your ass over there, and we won't have no issues. You got enough fucking money, so there you go. He don't gotta come back.
but he still has what, three minor children.
You think he
So
cares? Well, I can't say if he cares or not, but
yeah, I mean, two of them don't have a mama. So,
I wonder why.
and that's a whole other issue.
I'm about to say,
Don't
who was the cause of that? So that's
don't
why I
don't
said,
do
does
that.
he really care?
Don't do that. Kim Porter had a medical emergency, if I'm not mistaken.
Allegedly, but no, she was off, just like Mike was off. Like, let's not, no, stop it. They both got
There's
off.
you,
Mike got
you
off. She got off.
okay. Mike got off. We can entertain that briefly because there was a very big financial reason to do so. You wanna blame Diddy for Biggie being off too while we're at it? Did he
Yeah,
arrange that?
Kim was about to expose him. That's why she got off. She was supposed to release a book, a tell all, everything. She got off because of it.
So let's see.
Dog, the stuff he's being charged with now, if someone you were actually with is telling you what he was doing, yeah, you basically snitching.
Okay, let's take 50 out of it. Let's take 50 out of it.
Who mentioned
50,
50?
50 been taking shots at this dude for years, right? And the whole thing is, oh, he might go both ways. He be having freaky parties, and that ain't that ain't a crime. If
No,
we're
it's
gonna be
not.
real,
No, but what he was doing to do it, it was
Yeah. That makes
drugging
the
them.
difference right there. I
Yeah,
mean, if he's gay, if he's bi, whatever the case may be,
yeah.
that's a totally irrelevant issue. Because if I mean, there's no crime in that.
No.
But when you start drugging people and trafficking people and raping people, and yeah,
And
he's
blackmail,
crossed the whole line.
and you got tapes of all that you use as blackmail. Yeah, that's where the problem comes. If you buy it, that's who cares? If it's consensual, I don't care. But none of that was.
Well, somebody got to say something. I mean, because what we do know
Who
is
wants to
he
say
is
something?
he is the abusive, but again, I guess the extent of it is what might be somewhat surprising. Now, I'm not on the I have a whole t-shirt and I have a whole mental aspect of believe women the first time. I stopped paying attention to Fluffy years ago. Like,
Yeah,
I just because unpopular, especially New York opinion, he ushered in the trash era. If we really gonna be honest,
The
we
shiny
really
suits.
gonna be honest.
The shiny.
Shiny suits, materialism. Listen to Big's first two albums, listen to his videos, watch the videos, like, all of it was hyper materialism at a time when hip hop wasn't about hyper materialism. It was
absolutely.
so if we really want to be honest, and I'm sure Mount Vernon will be mad at me. We can start looking at the change in hip hop with Biggie and then shortly after the shiny suit era, so on and so forth. So that's like, there's that. But I'm like, where I was going was we kind of could tell he was a monster with making a band. Bruh, you making cats walk to get cheesecake? You you you
Right.
I'm 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 good. I'm good on your whole super ego, can't stop, won't stop, grind all the time. No, what I do love, and I always say this to you, Kane, what I appreciate about your generation and went after it, y'all didn't adapt this grind culture, this I gotta work all the time. I gotta work 25 hours a day. No, you don't. But I say all that to say we kind of saw hints that old Fluffy might not have been what we thought he was then. And you go by the Pac disses. Oh, Pac roasted
Mhm.
Diddy something good. So there's that. But nah, I'm not sure why the feds, spared him then, but this is not over. And I got him being in cuffs by the end of the summer. They're gonna find some. They're not gonna the federal government is only gonna waste money on certain things. Not gonna waste the money or resources if they ain't got your ass. And end
Yo,
of the summer.
who said that he
End
was
of the
a
Yeah,
summer.
target? Like I said, they weren't after him.
but they're gonna find something on those tapes that's incriminating, and Diddy is gonna end up telling on a whole lot of people, and so he won't be the only one in cuffs.
Nobody,
Good.
considering who the names is, ain't I don't want to say I guarantee it because that'll be messed up, but and I hope y'all right, but nothing is happening. They went to go get the tapes. They have the tapes. That's the whole purpose. So
Yeah,
now
but
no
it
one
takes
gets it.
but it takes time to review all those tapes, though.
But depending on who's involved, I don't think they care who's on it. They just make sure it doesn't get out. And if he does stupidly come back, he don't just rat on everybody. Cause I'm pretty sure it's a lot of higher ups and elite motherfuckers in that shit. And it probably goes
Mhm.
way bigger than what we can even think. So if he's the
You
mule or whatever the fuck you want to call it, because I don't even think he's the head of all that. So yeah, nah, he ain't coming back. He's not coming back. That's the only way to get him. He ain't coming back, and nobody else is getting leaked. It's not happening. Or somebody
I'm
gonna
gonna
get off or something. Ain't no way.
take a quick exit route real quick. You know a name that is very interesting that has been linked to everybody, but no one seems to have dirt on, which is interesting.
Ooh, Oprah.
Yes.
Yeah,
No one.
that's why
She
I
got
always said
pictures with
ever. I've been saying ever
She
for a
got
long time.
pictures with Epstein, with Diddy, with
Yep,
Weinstein.
yep.
Yo, she got pictures hugged up with everybody, but somehow ain't nobody got dirt on her. That,
Allegedly, her
that's
name was
that's.
on that list, on that client list, allegedly. But it's Oprah, man.
I mean, that's what did the two Jay-Z quotes I always go back to. Asylum can be purchased,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yo, it's wild because it's pictures of her with everybody. but ain't no got no dirt, none, not a bit.
Because they're not releasing that stuff. There's a reason. I don't know
Fam,
why you're not getting this. Certain things we will never know.
Yeah, I've never trusted Oprah.
Right?
Never.
Like, no, like F her too. Like, no. This stuff
but,
is
The
well,
not
last
coming
25
out.
years of her career, nah.
I'll,
There's something phony about her.
Nah.
I'm about to say, so we the black delegation have turned on Oprah, Miss you get a car and you get a car and like that's
You
what we
get a
doing?
kid and you get a
But
kid. That's what she really said. Get the hell out
But
of here.
that's for the people that actually always supported Oprah. I mean, I stopped believing in Oprah when I was 10, but I just saw a lot of inconsistencies. So, I mean,
Because her story is compelling. To go from where she started to where she is, that is one hell of a story. But when you got there, what did you do? Same thing with Fluff Daddy. When you got there, what did you do? But it's like it's amazing. Out of everybody, and people keep for some odd reason wanting to throw Hove in this, like Hove next. I don't think so. I don't
Why not?
Hove
Hold
happy.
up. Why not? Do you know him?
Hove
Do
is
you know him? Like I said, everything on the surface can look one way. I don't think anyone thought Bill Cosby would be what he was.
yeah, we did.
So you thought during his peak,
We
that's
were
what he
we
was.
were no. See, the problem is by the time Bill Cosby really, really blew up, it was like to my generation, we were all young. We didn't, we us as 8 and 9 year olds watching the Cosby show
That's what I'm
had
saying.
no clue
That's what I'm
about what
saying.
was going on in the 60s and 70s.
That's what we were
So
saying.
it's a little different. We've all watched Jay become Jay before our eyes.
I don't mean nothing. No, you didn't. You don't know everything about him.
um,
Stop
well,
defending your guy. Sorry. Go ahead.
I can say with certainty that there are people who did know about Bill Cosby before the public did, going all the way back to at least 87. As a child, I heard some conversations from people who know Bill Cosby and Camille Cosby personally. So
Oh,
I am aware of some of his history. Jay-Z, I actually think he probably will have his comeuppance soon, but I don't think it's going to be this year. I really don't think this is going to be this year.
Something's gonna happen with him. If Diddy gets got, oh, he getting got. But I don't think Diddy's getting got, so he won't have to worry about it.
so let me read. This is the part where I'm gonna hop in and reiterate the power of an awesome black woman. Jay been married for how long? And where I'm going with this is simple. When you are married, speaking from experience, when you are in a happy relationship, guess what it does? Keep you out of a lot of dumb
That's
shit.
a lie. He was cheating the whole time. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, and
you just proving your own stuff. I don't even have to say nothing. Thank you.
yeah, I think Jay's. I mean, if we were being honest, Jay's career has only survived the last umpteen years only because of his association with Beyonce. That's what's kept him popular. I've been to his concerts. He does not sell out arenas like people seem to think he does. And he always needs a co-headliner. And it's been like that at least since 2004, maybe.
Oh wow.
But
Yeah.
but Jay is not Drake. Jay never was about making the bops. He was about making, quote unquote street music. And I'm just like, look, when you are home, when you are married, especially when you are married to Beyonce, you have all the incentive to stay your ass home and stay your ass out of trouble.
And he did.
And when everything blew up in that elevator, guess what we hear? We got good music and black art.
Yep.
After that, we got good music and blackout. Jay been at the house. That's I'm like, all this Jay gonna be next. From what?
Well, he's been tagging along with Beyonce on tours for the last 2 or 3 years. So, yeah, he's probably trying to stay out of trouble. But if we look at the situation, part of it, I mean, he can't be trusted given that he's cheated on her. So she probably does have him with her for a reason, constantly. But
How old is Blue? Like, ain't she like
Blue
10
is
now?
11 or 12.
Right. So at least for the last 12 years, no, it's been clean.
Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Why you tap dance? That ain't even master. You just tap dance. Like, why you tap dance for this man you don't know? Stand up. Lay your 10 toes down, man. What's wrong with you? Talking about, man, you don't know what he's been doing behind the scenes. Just because he's not in the public doesn't mean he's not doing nothing.
He has enough dirt from years ago that even what he's doing, even if he's doing good right now, that stuff will still come back to haunt him. And Beyonce will probably cut ties if it's too bad to the point where it's gonna damage her career.
That's it. Hey, he's just like I said, he's been in pictures with questionable people by association too. So it's like, come on. If you want to have that with Diddy, you gotta have the same energy with him too, because he's around a lot of these people too. But hey,
he's still ducking and dodging paternity suits. So I mean, he's not completely out the woods yet.
He ain't clean, my boy. You got a better argument for LeBron than him.
I mean, yeah, LeBron, we can hold LeBron up, but I just don't think I guess all dirt is not created equal. Am I saying like, hey, Jane did nothing? No, obviously, if he didn't do nothing, we wouldn't have got the 444 out. So we know it's some dirt there.
I'm not talking about infidelity. I don't care about that. That's between him and the person. I'm talking about the big. I'm talking about big stuff. That's not going to get you caught up saying you're next, Jay. Like him getting exposed to cheating, he already did it himself. I don't care, and so did Beyonce. So hey, who cares? I'm talking about that you on with Epstein and Diddy. You on that type. That's what he's about to get got for, or that's what everyone's saying. And by association, if we don't do the guilty by association, it ain't looking too good, fam. You run in the same circles as them.
All I'm gonna say is this: is that Kanye is not as crazy as people think he is.
Saying Kanye, everything Kanye says, most of it came back true.
Mm-hmm.
And he said some shit about Jay now. So let's not. So I don't think if he ain't lie about the other stuff, what makes you think he gonna lie about Jay?
Because Kanye lied about himself. How we forgotten how he lied to Mos Def, to Talib, pretended he was something he wasn't so he could get on and get cool with folk. Nah, B. And all of a sudden, and then Kanye is a half step away from Candace Owens. Once you anti-black, I gotta invalidate a lot of no genius over here, bro.
Well, that's on you.
Yeah, you can say, I mean, you can say that he's not a genius or anything like that, but people have written him off as being crazy, bipolar, and everything else. And even with a bipolar diagnosis, that doesn't make him a liar.
Exactly. He said some things about some people, did he? And it's turned out to be true. So why the hell would he lie about Jay? He lied. He told the truth about them, but lie about him.
Yep. Yeah. And you see, after when Kanye did that same was it St. Pablo concert, as soon as he started speaking about Jay and Beyonce, he got snatched right off the stage, and the whole concert tour was canceled after that. So I mean, obviously there's things at work and things that people are trying to hide.
Mm-hmm.
I just think if I got the power to shut you up from slander, I'm going to use it. I'm not going to spend my time battling the nonsense you might say. If I can shut you up ahead of time, I'm going to shut you up ahead of time.
Yeah.
I'm just, once you show me, and I'm sorry, once you show me you anti-black, that's pretty much it for me. And Kanye's been quite anti-black. When I put it on the scale of, okay, did he say some things that might possibly ring true? Sure. But you anti-black at your core, dog. You ran around here bootlicking for Trump. I'm done. We done.
Hey,
we done.
Yeah, that was hard to watch.
Listen to the message, not the messenger. Like sometimes the messenger doesn't matter. I understand. You can filter out the bullshit that he says, but when he starts speaking on some stuff that ain't sounding like bullshit, that sound like there's some smoke and some fire, you gotta listen. You might not like a person, but a broke clock is right twice a day. What are we doing?
Well, here's another problem with your beloved Jesus. You had all this smoke for the good folks of Israel a minute ago. Now that shit's going down, I ain't heard a Kanye complaint nowhere. In fact, I'm hearing a whole bunch of other people complaining about what's going on in Gaza. So you had all this smoke for them a minute ago, right? Got caught anti-Semitic. They cut ties with you. Adidas cut ties with you. Your shoes worth about $20. But now that the shit's really going down, I ain't seen it, Kanye. He just been running around with his weird girlfriend in odd clothes.
Yep.
Hey, why she catch a tree? Let her be
Because
naked in peace.
she's part of the weird.
Let her be
She's
naked in
part of the
peace.
weird.
Let her be naked in peace, man. Relax. Free
No,
women's bodies,
no.
man. You supposed to
Yeah.
be
How do you feel
feminine.
about Amber Rose and her whole Trump affiliation now?
Whoa. I'm okay. That I did not have that on the bingo card of the topics. What?
Oh, my bad.
What?
Yeah.
Amber.
Yeah. Yesterday she decided that, she posted and said Trump 2024 with a picture of him.
Good
Now
stuff,
see,
Baldy. Good stuff.
now see. I didn't say it. One of Cunye's, to use my Canaan voice, one of Cunye's greatest crimes was you had the real thing. You had Amber, right? You left Amber to get the fake Amber. I bigged up Amber for the slut walk, for standing up for, look, we're going to take the stigma off of, women actually on their sexuality. But now you put on a MAGA hat. Oh,
Yeah.
it's saying ain't. I'm gonna have to look that up. That's
I
ugly.
I was when I saw the picture, I was like, if Amber just wants to get back with Kanye and she's tired of being broke, just say that. Because
Because you
this is
didn't dating like 4 different versions of Wiz Khalifa. She definitely got a type. Nothing wrong with that.
yep.
But you definitely like the scarecrows. All right, cool. It's all right. You want the scarecrow, you get scarecrow, but don't. Oh, okay. Now I gotta. Somebody else I got to get rid of. But circling back to where we started with Diddy, I saw something and I thought it was somewhat problematic. I was curious what everybody else thought. Ah, gosh, where is it? Dr. Umar made a statement, and I quote, I'm not going to give this too much energy as we have far more important issues to address than what happened 10 years ago. Slightly problematic statement. However, this isn't the end for Diddy. Tell us more, Umar. TD Jakes will help him set up his own megachurch. He will be saved and baptized and will probably make more money as a pulpit pimp than he ever has as a mogul. Puffy will rise from the ashes. No,
Wait, so you defending them or just saying what's going to happen?
no, he thinks basically Umar saying, don't take your eye off the ball. One, it's a slight distraction. But two, he thinking Diddy ain't done. Diddy gonna go to I've been saved, I've been delivered route, hang out with TD Jakes, power bottom, um, and suddenly become a preacher, and all will be forgiven, and he gonna be better than before. No,
No,
Nah, it's
no,
done.
there's no. Mm-mm.
It's
not
done.
happening. He's done too much in that video. It's too damaging. It was one thing when we just heard things. It's another thing when we saw just how vicious he can be. And I don't think that women are going to forget that anytime soon.
Oh, he's done.
And men who care about women, because we know there's a whole lot still are saying, what did she do to deserve this? Or what did she do for him to act out like that? So there'll be people that'll support him, but he's not about to go the religious route.
Nah,
I don't see it for him. And I don't see him being able to come back and do anything other than what he's already done.
he was done. He was done before the video because of all the accusations. Now we got no Diddy.
Well,
But
there were people saying, well, it's just a money grab and there might have been some other circumstances behind it. It's one thing when you don't have physical proof, but now you get to see it in action. And there's been a few people that have had to come back and eat their words and have made public apologies to Cassie now that they've seen the video.
oh, yeah. I don't mean just the Cassie. I'm talking about the accusations of the trafficking, the drug, and all that. That didn't just involve her, because there was a lot of names on that redactor, and people did a lot of their detective skills to see who was involved, and they are still forever getting clowned. Shout out to Meek Mill. And this is his reputation was done anyway. The same way
Right.
Drake's might be done. But
Oh, we
I'm talking about his
we gonna have to
reputation.
wait.
His career is not done, but his reputation is done.
Well, if your reputation is done, your career might not be far behind, but I got you.
No, because look at R. Kelly. But what was I about to say? Yeah, I think it was already done, but that video just pretty much put a stamp for everyone. Well, except the people that says, "What did she do?" I don't. At that point, man, what? But yeah, it's bad.
I'm,
It's
I
bad.
mean,
But nothing gonna happen though. I guarantee that. Almost guaranteed.
the sad reality of it is, I can't. I don't agree with Umar. I see his point. I see the good doctor's point, but not this time. The sad
Yeah.
reality of it, you got to entertain it a little bit. We've seen this movie before. We've seen people go get delivered, quote unquote, and pop up on the redemption tour. We've seen this movie. I
Yes.
mean, Jamal Bryant. Jamal Bryant has run this play, but at least Jamal was already a preacher. So it wasn't like he ran in religion for salvation. Jamal was already a preacher.
Right.
But nah, this is ain't no coming back from this one. And I get it. Because TD Jakes himself just had to kind of rehab himself after the yin yang he was accused of. So there's no coming back. I'm still sticking by my guns. I think the diddler will be in cuffs by Labor Day for something. How bad, I'm not sure, but Labor Day for something. Okay, so I hate when we got to cover these because we've been doing a good job of. I guess Ken, you were right, and this is one of those cases I hate when you're right. Roger Fortson murdered by police. He is an active duty airman. This is Florida Sheriff's deputy. So the long and short of it, from what I've gathered, there was a report of a conflict at this apartment complex. Stop me if you heard this one before. And, if they're at the wrong door, if I'm not expecting anybody at my door and I'm in an open carry state, it's not unheard of for me to go answer the door with the blicky. Apparently he did so. And they opened fire. So Roger Fortson, 23-year-old senior airman, who is no longer with us. And Al Sharpton spoke, and it's just how. I guess the good news is they had their body cams on because there's been a lot of that. Oh, oops, looks like we turned it off, but the body cam was off, so we get to see exactly what happened. And yeah, officer says step back and begin firing. So officer says step back. He raises empty hand, trigger happy cop, and here we are again. 3 to 4 seconds elapsed between Fortson opening the door and the deputy firing 6 shots. 3 to 4 seconds. Knock the door, open the door. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1000. Oh my God, now I'm getting shot at. And I just. The sheriff's office initially said this was self-defense. Yeah, you're at the wrong place. And you're in Florida. I'm just thinking, like, look, as I always do, I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of law enforcement and see, okay, at what point did this go off the rails? Does this make sense? Here's where this doesn't make sense. If I'm an officer in Texas, if I'm an officer in Florida or any open carry state, I'm going to exercise extra caution. And if I'm asking somebody to open a door, guess what I'm not going to do? Since the possibility is there that they could be armed, I'm not going to stand right in front of the doorway. I'm not going to do that. I'm off to the side. I'm something other than right in front of the doorway. Because, of course, if I am at the right place, if there is disturbance going on, and they really do, of course, it's the open carry state, they have a right to have a gun. Guess what I don't want to be? In the line of fire. Guess what I also don't want to have to do? Shoot at you. I'm trying to diffuse a situation, but maybe that's the part law enforcement keeps forgetting. Diffuse the situation. So now, and I've still not read anything that said this officer has been suspended or anything, desk duty, something. But here we are. Here we are again. No, I'm. You showed up at the wrong place. This goes back to what happened here with Amber Geiger in Dallas. Went to the complete wrong apartment. I don't know. Your thoughts? Your thoughts?
Yeah, this is always gonna keep happening. I already said that. I've kind of accepted it. It's just a matter of when. And yeah, it just seems like every time it's always our house is the wrong house, and then they end up dead. It's like honestly, for real, on this occasion, if you got told this house, you're expected to be this house. So unless the officer was told something else, he went to the wrong house. I don't know where the miscommunication happened, who got what wrong, because it ended up costing somebody. Because to be fair, and trust me, I hate kids. I mean, I hate pigs, not kids. Love kids. Um, if he got sold to the wrong house and then someone opens the door, you see the blicky, but you're expecting something. Okay, I can get why he's trigger happy and whatnot, but it's the wrong house. So somebody miscommunicating. Whoever did that miscommunication, whoever was wrong, they should get the heavy brunt of that. So if it's the dispatcher, or if the dispatcher got it right and the officer or whatever got it wrong, then whoever was wrong with the wrong information to go to the wrong house, they get all the brunt of it. So do we know that information? Who got what wrong?
No, I'm trying to find it as we speak. I'm trying to see how did this happen?
Well,
Yeah.
till we find that, that's what I got to say. Whoever got it wrong first, they should get the brunt of it.
I think that police have a responsibility, though, to verify when they go knocking on somebody's door that they're knocking at the right house. Because sometimes they're in such a rush and so eager to take action that they're not always responsible. I mean, there's no reason to shoot somebody that many times and try to claim self-defense.
That's just for us, though.
Mm.
Because like I said, there's been videos where officers show patience and defuse, even in
Very
highly
often.
stressful situations. Yeah, but it
And
doesn't happen to us.
yeah, we don't get that luxury.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Somebody was wielding a knife and was stabbing someone, they showed mercy. You walk in with your hand in your pocket, you getting lit up. So I don't understand it. Well, I do understand
Well,
it.
I can say in my city, there's been quite a few incidents, but I also live in a majority white town. And there's been police shootings and whatnot. But all these southern states and the stories that are actually making the news is always one of us. And considering that I have a son that's about to be 23, this is the type of stuff that makes me nervous. Because just the idea of people are supposed to be trained to protect and serving, but when they see dark skin, all of a sudden they're afraid.
I'll take it a step further. When they see anything other than white skin, they're afraid.
And
But
you don't see it, but we don't see it as much happening to Asians.
because you know the median income for Asians is what, and they can afford to live where. But you are correct. You are correct. When you start looking at who's on the wrong end of these, what let's call it is police executions, it's primarily us black and brown people.
Yeah.
And this is just bad. This is just bad again. And there's going to be, speaking of Jamal Bryant was the one who gave the eulogy for the show, man. Um, Something's got to give. I'm trying to see if there's been any actions taken. Have these cops been removed from the force? Anything. So I guess shout out to the world's greatest union yet again. Open the door. Okay, seconds open. So pretty much open the door, saw the cop saw him standing there with a gun, and he let loose.
No questions asked, no nothing. And that's irresponsible as well.
Hold up, was this a raid or just a what was this?
No, he was sent there because it was allegedly a domestic disturbance.
Okay, so it wasn't a raid. It was just a knock to see what was going on.
Yeah.
Oh,
And there's a
never
video.
mind. Okay, never mind. I'm thinking that it was the wrong address for a raid or okay. Oh, I mean, it changes things a little bit, but not much. Because like I said, I need to know who made the wrong call, and then also he ain't gonna be totally exempt because like I said, 6 shots when the dude, yeah, he's armed, but he didn't draw.
Well, here's the problem. Now, okay, so now, and I hate to do it, but I got to do it.
6.
Hold
You're gonna
on.
get damn near the whole clip, dog.
No, hold on. Here's the thing. I hate to do it, but I got to do it. If I think I'm at the right house, you open the door, you got the blicky in your hand, which he did, right? And you go to raise your hands up. I don't know if you raising up to blast me or putting your hands up as in, hey, don't shoot. Am I taking that chance?
Did he raise this way or did he raise this way?
I mean, he raised his
If
hand.
he raised this way, fine. You get, like
Let me
I
ask
said,
you,
it's
so
already a
hold on,
tricky
hold on.
situation.
Right, hold on. Let's be honest for a second here. As a person who has a wife and a son, obviously, my concern is what? I want to make it back home. You came to the door with the blicky in your hand. Am I going to gamble? Am I going to gamble with you whether or not you was raising your hand and say stop, don't shoot, or you raising up to blast me? I'm not taking that chance.
Then don't be a pig.
Problem.
The fuck, if you scared, don't be a pig. Like I'm saying, like you signed up to be in these dangerous situations to serve
You
and
got a
protect.
blicky in your hand,
It's
bro.
an
What I'm
open
supposed to
carry
do?
state. You just said it. You should expect everyone to have one.
Okay, so let's make this real fun. If it were you, what would you do?
I'm blasting all you, so I'm playing. What would I do? Not be in the uniform. That's what I would do. But if we're gonna do theoretical, what would I do? Yeah, I'm gonna do the thing that you said in the beginning. Don't stand in front of the door. Knock from the side. Did he have backup or was it just him?
I'm not sure right now. It's looking like it's just him.
If it was just him, knock. Is this such and such place? Are you such and such? But like I
Yeah,
said, he
because like I
came
said,
with it. But like I said, the way you described it, I didn't watch the video. Is that he knocked and had the gun ready, and he was ready already. Because ain't no unless he has the quickest draw of all time, where he knocked in one motion. Like I don't know, but it seems like he was ready off rip. So he was already on 10. So if he was already on 10, and then he saw the gun, and then I guess he made a sudden movement, which is the case. If he said don't shoot, or whatever. I don't know if he said don't you, but whatever. If he said I'm surrendering, then yeah, if you trigger happy, you already nervous. Yeah, this is why you shouldn't be a pig, man. If you're already nervous and got a happy trigger fin, you have no business. Go to the military. They need you on the front lines. You perfect.
Right.
But if you got a happy trigger fin as a pig, no, that should not happen. This is why they need to do deep psychological testing and all that, because man, ain't no way, man.
It is very easy in my city to become a police officer. It doesn't even take a whole lot to be able to get that position.
I thought you needed a
And
degree
they
to be a
need,
cop.
huh?
I thought you needed a degree to become a cop.
You just go to the academy.
No, you don't.
Oh, wow. I got you.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
that makes it even worse. Never mind. See?
Yep.
You got Johnny from across the street being a pig now, man. No.
Yeah, if you're trying to advance, you might want to have something behind you, but to be a regular cop, no.
I didn't know that. Well,
Oh,
maybe it's different for states. I don't know.
oh gosh, see, I'm divided because it's like, look, do I need you to have gone through 4 years of college to be an officer? No, I don't think so. Because that implies like I don't know. I'm divided because like I
But
don't need you to
they
have 4 years of formal education to be a police officer.
At this point, yes, we do.
I
Go ahead.
I think for psychological reasons, it should be necessary because people have, their biases, and you don't know what their intentions are once they get that badge and that gun in their hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in agreement with you. I guess my question is, do you think 4 years of college erases those biases?
No, I'm saying they need
No,
more deep testing. That's what I'm saying. I can't.
yeah, they can come up with some sort of program where you have to go through extensive psychological testing and probably some cultural education, because I don't see
That would be smart.
being scared of everything that's coming at you is a good excuse to be able to shoot people. And if you're that scary, don't be a cop.
Yeah, the whole I fear for my lifeline. Wow,
And
wow,
guess what?
funny.
You can go to Cop City and do all them trainings, man. See, there you go. You already got a place to do it. Cop City, man, making cops better at their jobs.
Coming to a city near you,
It's
especially if
already
you're black or
there.
brown.
I'm sorry.
Especially if you're black or brown.
Yeah, it's
I
already.
just it's just I I don't know if it's a case of it's not happening as much or we just don't hear about it as much since George Floyd.
Second.
I mean, well, you can find out. I mean, the good thing is there are stats on this. You can find out how many police shootings, how many police deaths there have been through FBI crime stats. I haven't looked, so I
You
don't
believe that?
know.
You believe all them numbers are true?
I mean, if that's the case, you can't believe nothing.
That's the point. Mr. Question Everything suddenly believes everything. Which one is it?
I'm not.
Which one is you be playing the line, so you believe everything or you don't? Like, I'm sorry, could have swore I grew up saying question everything, Kane. Nah. Okay, so now he's saying, well, why would we question that? There's
No,
numbers behind it.
as always, I say follow the trend. Is there an incentive to lie here? Is there a reason to not tell the full truth here on a grand scale?
Right.
So this
Because
one,
if that's the
hold up,
case, given the city you live in, it'd have been real beneficial to lie,
they
but
was
they didn't.
they off whatchamacallit, one of their own. It just still got out. But yeah, I
No,
remember.
I'm saying the Department of Justice came down with some serious reform changes for Baltimore PD
They
based
had
on
to.
their own investigations.
They had to, because it was already someone about to snitch on them in their own unit. They had to.
Hmm.
Everybody in here knew they was crazy. But I'm saying, what was I saying? That's a great thing. It'll come back to me. Keep talking. I'm sorry.
Okay, but it's just going back. Like I said, I don't think you need a 4 year degree and $100,000 in student loan debt to become an officer. But I do think we need to change certain aspects of the job because I'm like, given where you, like I said, I tell you where you live at. You can't have cats from coming above that line up in PA with no exposure to a certain demographic coming down to Baltimore to police. It's built in implicit bias, and we have to get real honest about the biases and prejudices and racism in this country.
RoboCop.
Like, you
I've been
stupid, y'all.
saying it. RoboCop. We already going in this direction, so we might as well just go all the way. I trust a machine over these motherfuckers. I promise you.
Okay, so we're gonna go with a WTF now. Um, Morehouse College, historically black HBCU, great HBCU, all male college. And guess who they had come speak for their commencement ceremony? None other than Joe Biden. When I saw that, I had so many questions. So many questions. Like, if there was ever a time to be like, nah, we good, we straight, it was then. Because
Mm-hmm.
what in the hell does the architect of the crime bill that might have put some of these young black men's parents in jail? Why you coming through here, bro? You forgiving some of the student loan that some of these young brothers got?
Right.
Yeah.
And who signed off on this? This looking real. This looking real. I ain't gonna say bootlickerish, but
It
I'm
is.
like, dog,
It
this
is.
is like Stacey Abrams riding hard for Biden. Just saw a picture with her bowing before Biden. Like, stop the bootlicking. Stop the borderline cooning. Bruh, remember who you talking to. I got it. He put Kamala as vice president. I understand that. But fam, speaking of which,
What happened to
AK's been
her?
real quiet.
What happened to
Real
her?
quiet.
She disappeared off
Because
the
she
face
ain't
of her.
right, she ain't the president though. It means something when the actual president of the United States comes and speaks. Yo, school.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Now, from what I did see though, it did not and then just when you thought it couldn't get much weirder, I'm trying to make sure I get the name right. Um, Reverend Reginald Wayne Sharp Jr. Oh boy, he gave a nice little speech. Talked about how, certain things might make you look a certain way, feel a certain way. Money, you're talking about dead Palestinians, so on and so forth, which your man's right there in his face on stage. That's what I'm talking about. No, you're not gonna come through this historically black college with all these black men, these awesome brothers, and sit here and act like shit is sweet. So
Right.
he went down. And here's where it gets weird. Biden was actually applauding the speech.
Dude.
He's a robot. He ain't real. He ain't
Like,
real.
like it's almost like roasting somebody, but they don't know you roasting them. So like, it's
Oh,
like roasting somebody in a rap, and they don't get. Hey, wait a minute, you talking about me? Like, yeah. This is a Kendrick moment. Shout out to Kendrick. This is Kendrick on control.
yeah.
I
That just happened to Monique with Chelsea Handler. She didn't realize that she was the butt of Chelsea Handler's joke until
can,
people kept telling her, no, she's not relating to you.
but
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I'd have been salty off jump because I'm like, what is the alumni association doing bringing this clown here? How soon we forget?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm fairly sure we're gonna see Mr. MAGA himself showing up at some black churches in a campaign trail.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what do you
That's the same.
it gives bootlicker. It gives bootlicker, yo. I'm sorry. It gives bootlicker. And I'm like, Morehouse, you have esteemed, established alumni. You didn't need this dude there. What does Biden have in common with brothers? I can see if Obama came through. All right, I can at least wrap my mind around that.
Yeah.
But uh, thoughts, my esteemed colleagues. What are your thoughts of having the president at freaking Morehouse?
I don't even really have much of a thought on it because he didn't have no place there. I mean, I don't know who signed off on that, but they could have picked a bunch of other black men.
And I just like this. It's just the inability to read the room.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, we don't like you. I know black folk just been anybody but Trump, anybody but Trump. Not now though. It's a lot of cats waking up, and beyond that, it's just a quick turn of the page of history. You and Clinton in the '90s wrote the damn crime bill that locked a lot of these brothers, relatives, and dads up. You ain't apologized for that open explicitly that I've seen. So out of every possible school to go to, you want to carry your lily white ass to Morehouse.
Got to get them votes somehow.
I get the black vote.
But that's the funny part. You ain't reading the room, dog, because the most resistance is coming from who? Folks your age and younger. Black men and black people your age and younger. So you ain't gonna and you didn't address nothing. The greatest, the real player move, would have been like, yo, check this out, y'all. Anybody with student loan debt graduating today, you no longer have student loan debt. Boom.
Yep.
Boom. That's how you get votes. If you're really gonna do it, that would have been the player move.
Let's not get too hasty now. I just need to show up, shake some people's hands, nod, applause, and we good. Because what did Joe say? If you ain't vote for me, you ain't black enough.
I swear, if you try to run that back, he better talk to whoever his campaign manager is. He better not try to run that nonsense back. If you gonna vote for me, yeah, okay.
You're not young enough, so here you go. How about that? But no, this is crazy, man. I really don't care. I don't pay attention to politics. It's all the same. It's a lose-lose regardless. So let's just see who's the loser, the biggest loser.
I mean, if we don't collectively, all of us don't finally, I don't know what you need to see. You are witnessing a genocide being funded by our tax dollars. And on the other side, you have the guy who's pretty much telling you we're going to revert things back to the Handmaid's Tale, and women's rights, what few there are going out the window. I don't know what else there needs to be to go third party. I don't know what else we need to say.
It's not going to happen. Sorry, people are still too loyal to their party. Doesn't matter. Especially black people. Like I said, that is the most confusing thing possible, to be loyal to the Democrats.
Well, see, that's the thing, and maybe it's because of the folks I talk to, the people I follow. You're telling me you're seeing something different. I'm seeing a lot of people your age and younger saying F these parties. They fed up. They're not being heard. These brothers graduating from college, and a lot of people graduating from college concerned about their student loan debt, about the economy, about not being able to afford a home. I'm hearing a lot of folks your age and younger saying F these dudes.
That's probably Gen Z. Millennials, which is my group, still look. I'm sure there's some that feel that way and just won't vote at all. But for the most part, people are still loyal to their parties. Or they'll say third party is a waste, which is still the running thing, which is, well, if everyone thinks that, then.
I mean, because everybody's scared, because the sad reality of it is a lot of folks are going to go MAGA no matter what. And the idea is, since they have that demographic of folks that's always going to go MAGA no matter what, the only way to combat that is you got to, it's 4 years ago. It's can't let Trump win. It's can't let Trump win. It's 4 years ago.
Okay.
All over.
So get Biden back and watch this crumble even more. Like, come on. Just vote third party. If everybody vote third party, there you go. No one will. We don't have to have any of these motherfuckers. But no, we gotta be loyal to the sauce, man.
Jill Stein, are you listening?
Black Jill people are so forgiving, man. I love our culture. We are the most forgiving people on the fucking planet. I swear. But all right, let's go.
But it's not forgiveness, though. It's you can't let Trump win. It's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be hell on earth if you let Trump win.
So it's not horrible with Biden. It seems like even other people, like even white people, everyone is upset right now. Everyone is feeling this. Everyone. His approval rating is probably negative. So I don't know what's like. Nah, it's a lose-lose, and I think we all know this, and yet too scared to go to third party. I don't understand it. We are literally an insane culture, man. We keep doing the same shit over and over and thinking things is going to change. The two-party system was not by design from our founding thieves. That's not what happened. It was supposed to be a lot of parties, knowing a lot of things to pick from. It just became a two-party system, which is really the same thing, but they just add different names. Like, man, get the fuck out of here, man. No.
Watch this, though. Watch this. See how this goes? But you think it's bad now. If Trump wins, it gets worse. See what they did there?
How much worse can it get? Everything is collapsing. We're about to go to war again. we're witnessing multiple genocides, one that we are directly a part of. Everything is falling. And they're preparing for it. So it doesn't really fucking matter who's going to be the president because it's going to be hell regardless. This is crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Marvelous times to be alive, man. What did Mos Def say? Life in
Life in
marvelous
marvelous
times.
times. Marvelous times. I just Morehouse, you dropped the ball, but shout out to Reverend Reginald Wayne Sharp because he gave all the smoke with your man sitting right there,
Mhm.
right in his face. Like, oh, by the way, you gonna get this smoke. You gonna get this smoke. So shout out to him. And happy belated birthday to one of my favorite. I don't know if calling him a revolutionary is accurate, but definitely a bit of a trouble starter. Happy belated birthday to Malik El Shabazz, also known as Malcolm X, one of my favorite people in history. I was thinking like, well, how do we do this?
You say he's
I don't
not
know if
a
you two have a.
revolutionary?
I'm sorry.
You said he's not a revolutionary?
Would you call him a revolutionary though? I don't. Would that be accurate?
Yeah,
You think so?
it's Malcolm X.
I'm aware. However,
So who would
I'd
you
see.
consider a
I'm,
revolutionary? And so I guess is MLK one then?
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So
Absolutely.
so who do you think is a revolutionary then? If it's not
Nat
Malcolm,
Turner,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's one.
Huey P. Newton,
So you got him over Malcolm?
because of here's the thing, we didn't get a chance, but and that wasn't by accident. CIA, we didn't get a chance to see Malcolm really get to where he wanted to get to, and then as you know, after his trip to Mecca, his attitude changed a bit. Attitude changed a lot, but he was definitely against the system for sure. Definitely against the system.
So how's that not
Definitely against the system.
revolutionary?
Because I'm looking at what I'm trying to look at. Okay, what can I point to say this was a revolutionary act? I can look at the Panthers and say this was a revolutionary act. When you run up in the state house with shotties cocked, that's a revolutionary act. When you organize in a manner counter to the government, that's a revolutionary act. Malcolm was part of the Nation of Islam. They were mislabeled as communists, but no, they were just teaching black people, what they were teaching black people. But I'm not saying he didn't have.
Independence from them, from this system, our own. So
Well,
that's
I
not
guess to a certain degree.
revolutionary.
Courtney, what do you think? Malcolm X, revolutionary or no?
I would probably put him in that category. I mean, in the time that he lived in, and I mean, we've gotten so far away from people, the Black community.
Mm.
The idea of respecting women and family and community, putting everything together. Like we're so far from that now. And he actually, I mean, he made a lot of statements that made sense, that in terms of respecting women and us not being protected, that's a constant quote that's been on the internet constantly. Although I don't think that people have read the entire context of that particular quote, because it's
Mm-hmm.
not just a matter of being protected, but I feel like he brought something that was different in comparison to Martin Luther King. And I think that you can't just ignore that part of the whole thing. Yes, he was starting to make some readjusting his line of thought, but he made it clear how he felt about racism, about white people, and so forth. And a lot of people were scared to be able to do that, but he wasn't scared. He's like, no, this is what it is. And Black people got a sense of pride and a sense of self-respect listening to him.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of stuff he said, his quotes still apply today.
Mhm.
Unfortunately.
Like I said, my favorite Malcolm speech is probably "Who taught you to hate yourself?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when you listen to that, it's like, yeah, who this perpetual feeling of inferiority didn't come from nowhere. That was by design.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Right.
happy to see we're turning a corner on that as Black folk. Again, I would say we're in a
Mm.
bit of a Black renaissance. You don't think so?
Mm. I think we're going backwards, but that's just me.
Based on, well, I'm just now you tell. I'm curious. Based off of what though?
I don't think nothing's changed. I think the strongest we've been as a community was during that time. And then once they wiped all the quote unquote all the real leaders away and dunked the drugs in and then started making new slaves, jail system, then they essentially broke the Black family and the black pride and all that. And it's been working ever since. We're more divided than we've ever been.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, because stats have shown Black fathers are the most involved fathers in the country. I'll
I'm
put it
not
to you
talking
like
about the
this.
stereotypical stuff because obviously the numbers in terms of Black marriage and kids, who they have kids with, we still have marriage with each other and kids with each other. I'm just saying the mentality and how we do things, how we move, is not as a unit. It's more divided. And it's a lot, and social media and all that shit and all these stupid. Luckily, we're not a podcast that does touch topics on stuff like this. That's so divisive and stupid. But a lot of stuff that topics and stuff like that, relationships, blah blah blah, all that gets the forefront, and then you just see a whole division, everyone going to war with each other. And then
Yep.
like at this point, most of them conversations too, because you can just wherever your preference is, find it. It's not that hard. And it's that whole relationship conversation. But in terms of everything else, the roles, blah blah blah, it's like whatever works for you, same thing. So it's like we have bigger fish to fry than these stupid surface level shit, and we still stuck on it.
Hold on. You kind of stepped on it. I gotta touch on that real quick. Think about what you just said though. I get your overarching point. The thing I want to point out though is think about what you just said. The reason there are so many relationship podcasts and so on and so forth, right? Is because what did you just say a moment ago? Because of the fracture in the Black family. So if you can cut through some of the bullshit and see it for what it is, look, you got on one end, you got Black men, on the other end, you got Black women. And what are we trying to do? Figure out how to love each other so we can what? Put the Black family back together. Now, some of this shit is just clickbait and nonsense, like all of these skits and I don't want to go to Cheesecake Factory. Some of this is garbage. But when you get underneath it, honestly, I think a lot of this is just we need to relearn how to love one another. And a lot of them got questions, especially people my age and slightly younger. We are deprogramming the BS our parents taught us, figuring out how to navigate ourselves, and then what to teach up. It's a three-pronged attack. Like I said, we are in that weird space. I told you, the world is different from 1990 to 2010. That 20 years changed everything. So I get what you're
No,
saying, but I
then
also think some of this is just, hey,
it
we
did.
trying to figure this out. And yeah, you got to sift through some of the nonsense. I don't think we're that far apart. I think it's good that we're asking the questions. We
No,
are
then
trying to figure out how do I love this person the right way?
man,
How do
fuck
we
Yeah.
it.
how do we come together?
Man,
Our generation, I think, is doing that. The younger generations, from what I've observed, there's a lot of mistrust, a lot of insecurity,
okay, bro.
and a lot of that goes back to the older generations and what they've seen happen.
Mm.
So these younger kids, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while for our communities to really turn a corner to get completely all on the same page because there's a lot of damage that was done before even we were born, and so it's kind of hard to expect the next generation after us to be able to clean that up on their own without us doing the work first, since we're the ones that put these humans on Earth. So we have to look at it from that aspect too, of not just totally thinking the worst, but I mean, there's some hope for it to get better. But right now, I don't see that we're completely on the same page as a community. There's just been too much damage, and I think at some point too, we also have to stop blaming outside people and situations for some of the stuff that's an internal issue.
Yeah, but I also think, with that being said, I agree, and you kind of prove all my points. Thank you. That's what I was saying. But a lot of all this divide, all this does stem back from slavery. That was by design. And then it just carried on because every time we picked ourselves up off the, bootstraps and all that, out the dirt, out the mud, someone came in, wiped that shit out, started over every single time. Black Wall Street, civil rights era. Every single time when we thought everything was going the way we planned, togetherness and all that, black wealth, whatever, doing stuff on our own. You say, all right, we done ask you for stuff. We start doing stuff, but every time we do, you wipe it off. So that they are still at fault for that too. But I do agree that we still have to look in the mirror because we still giving ourselves to slavery at this point. Like, we really are. Especially in the information age that we have now, where you can look up stuff, see this, that, and there. And we can literally communicate with everyone. You don't have to be in the same state, whatever. So yeah, we are a long ways to go. I don't know what you talking about that we close. Hell no. We are way far.
Liberation is hard work, my guy, and there are people doing the work. The issue is there's a vested interest in us not being free, in us not being independent thinkers. However, I do believe some of these seeds are growing. And again, as I always tell you, it's yourself, it's generation after you, and y'all doing a lot of stuff that my generation didn't or couldn't do. And I love your bravery, and I love seeing it. She's not black, obviously, but Greta Thunberg, speaking truth to power as far as climate change is concerned. There's a lot, and then just even here, there's a lot of brothers and sisters I know that are being brave and trying to change the narrative. And circling back to where I started a moment ago, if you can cut through the noise, I think a lot of these relationship podcasts, the reason there's so many of them, there's so much quote unquote clickbait, is because we all, especially black folk in this country, given our history, suffer from a lack of love. Malcolm asked, who taught you to hate yourself? We don't answer that. Now the question is, who's going to teach us to love one another? Because respectfully, the Black Christian church ain't the answer for everybody.
This comes with yourself. You gotta love yourself first before you love anyone else.
Obviously.
And a lot of people don't love themselves, especially in our community. That's why this is hurt people. But it's a generational trauma thing. This is what I'm trying to freaking say. That takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to break generational trauma. And I know this, speaking for myself and all our freaking traumas. I can't speak for this right here, but yeah, it's going to take time. We are nowhere near close. And we're being distracted by surface level dumb shit. Because it's not even solutions. We're just blaming each other. No one's listening.
Right.
Like I can see if it was an honest dialogue, like this is what I see, this is what I see, this. Okay, so how do we come to a solution? That's not what's happening. It's literally we're being pinned against each other. Black man versus black woman. Interracial shit. Oh, you go to white women. Oh, you go to white men. Like, there's nothing constructive is happening from these conversations.
I'll challenge that. If you have an infection, you got to get the pus out first before the healing can really start. Ain't no point me trying to stitch you up. You got infection. I gotta pop that boil. We gotta let the pus get all out, get all cleaned up, and then we can sew it up and start the healing. Sadly, we're still in the cleaning out. We're still in the cleaning out the infection stage. We're still in the get the pus out, and there's a lot of folks that got a lot of pus to get out, as you just said. But I am happy that it is getting out. And like I said, we're getting it out. It's bloodletting, it's getting the infection out. Now, once the infection's out, give it a generation or two, now we can really start healing. Now that, because like I said, we're the bridge that 40 to 50 age group, we're that bridge generation between all of the goofy nonsense that the baby boomers taught us to what we had to figure out to teach y'all. So
Right.
as time goes on, it gets better. So we're still stuck in the cleaning out the infection. The infection ain't gonna be much longer though. I don't think. We can't how many gender war podcasts can we really sustain?
A lot. That's it. This is
Yeah.
an infection. I don't like this. Like this past infected. Our arm is falling off. So it's like we need a new arm. The arm is dead. Let it go. We need a new arm. We need to establish new things because this going back to the old ways is not going to help. It's not help. It's a new era, new mindsets, new things. We need a new complete arm. Like they said, the pus is it's way past pus. It's freaking Resident Evil type arm. You got a zombie arm. It's dead. So yeah, we gotta cut that mother. What Dr. Umar said? Some people can't be saved. Some people gotta go for good. So there you go. Wipe out all the people that need to be wiped the hell out, and let's start over. Fresh start. That's my solution. Because this trying to sew up an infected arm is not working. The T virus is already spread to my leg. I'm half zombie. I don't want to do it. So come on.
I'm not laughing at you. It's that Umar quote is never not gonna be funny. I can put down.
Yeah, that's
Fuck
always
on.
funny. That is always funny. I'm sorry. That's it.
I mean, I don't know, Court. Where do you think we are? As far as how we relate to each other as Black people, romantically, platonically, what have you? You think we got much more infection to get out, or
We
you
have a
know?
whole, I think we have a whole lot. I mean, these
Yeah.
the podcasts and all the topics that come up, the gender wars and things like that. Those, there's way too many of them. First of all, there's way too many of them. And it's almost like it's a nothing is, there's no solutions because people are just going on and on about their traumas. And even if somebody comes up with a solution or say, oh, try this or try that for a relationship or, family, whatever, here comes, 10 more people with the opposite of a solution. So, I mean, there's people that just want to be stuck in their trauma. They want to be stuck in their trauma. They want to be loved and accepted how they are, even if who they are is severely damaged and they're not even trying to do the work. And that happens not even in just relationships, but in families too. We have parents that say, I am who I am and I'm not going to change. I'm too old to change. And don't offer apologies for the things that they did, to their children growing up. And a lot of things that should have been addressed are never addressed, and it's becomes a family secret. Things just swept under the rug. And then you have these kids that have dealt with this trauma or suffered it, going out into the world and inflicting it on partners, friends, coworkers. I mean, it literally starts at home. You have to for the cleansing to happen, it really has to start at home. People have to take accountability for themselves. And that's what I'm seeing a lot of that's not happening. People are not taking accountability for their behaviors. And we have a culture of, like I said, a culture of mistrust. People automatically go into situations thinking that they're going to be cheated on, lied to, abused. There's a lot of people who don't expect that they'll get married. They just think, oh, I'll just have, I'll have a baby daddy or a baby mama. And there's no sense of wanting to stick around permanently. It's just like everything is temporary. And then you have that group of people who say, forget love. I'm just going to focus on money because money is not going to hurt me. And And it's sad that a lot of these people haven't even experienced life. Life has not even kicked them in the butt yet. And that's already their mentality. And I think that it's sort of it's sad. It's sad, and it's unfortunate that even if you are in a single parent household, that there's not somebody in there giving positive reinforcement and showing them something else instead of inflicting their trauma and discussing, their trauma with their children. And so then those kids go out with the mindset, into the world, thinking that they're only as good as what their parents might tell them that they could be. It's there's, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I think it's gonna take a long time
I'm
for us to
hoping,
get
like I
where
said,
we need to be.
maybe I'm being overly optimistic. Because I do think, and then by no means am I celebrating it, but I do think the departure of Mr. Maggot Food, Kevin Samuels, definitely changed the landscape. Because I, to this day, couldn't tell you how that goofball came to prominence that he did. I can tell you now, there's literally a Facebook group right now with 30,000 members in it. And it's just based on some of the stuff I've seen. I'm not in it. I see people post stuff from it. It goes back to what Kane said, what you just mentioned. It's literally just worthless back and forth. It's not solution based. It's finger pointing, da da da. But I'm like, the infection, the pus has got to leak out so we can heal. And I'm hoping that we, looking forward, because honestly, most of it, what I found real weird, most of the Kevin Samuels disciples were like 35, 30, 30 plus. I didn't come across too many 20 somethings quoting this dude like he was some prophet. It was all the washed, it was all the washed dudes, 30, 35, who have now become passport bros. That
Yeah.
That's
that
it.
thought this dude was something.
That's
Yeah.
great. It just gotta heal, and then when we heal, then the cycle will stop. But since no one is healed, especially within themselves, the cycle will always continue. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Therapy works if people actually seek it out.
and that doesn't always mean talk therapy. It could be wherever it needs that's constructive to get yourself better. So yeah, do whatever you need to do. Love yourself, get better. And I promise, if you have two healed people come together, it might not. It's not going to be perfect, but it will be great. See, I can
No
work
lies
through stuff.
told on that.
So yeah, just come heal. Everyone heal, whatever your trauma is, because I'm sure everyone has it. And then wait till you're done. Don't rush in this stuff. And I think over time, then it will start to get better, and the cycle will stop. But as of right now, the cycle is going to keep continuing. So it ain't stopping no time soon until we heal as a community, which is very hard to do in this climate.
Like I said, I'd like to think we're making some steps. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's gonna take a little time. And now to wrap this thing up, I found this a very interesting thing, and I actually did a little homework on it before we got started. There's what's called a human library. I don't know if it started in Denmark, but that's where I saw the article. Whereas instead of checking out a book, you can check out a person. You can literally, there are people there that have experienced certain things, certain walks of life, and you can sit down, have a 30-minute conversation with them, real stuff. So if you wanted to talk about, I don't know, the conflict in, go back in time and talk about the conflict in Rwanda, they'd have someone there that survived the conflict in Rwanda. And I was like, wow. So just for kicks, I said, well, hey, is there a human library here in America? There is. I missed it though. It was a few years back. But oh my gosh, I really wish we could still do that now. I've always said, hey, I'd love to have a MAGA type on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to have one of those type, but the notion of, hey, I think this would work well for like starting at not super young kids, but I think this would work well for high school kids. Before that, the stupidity, the ignorance really sets in. You got to break it. Have a conversation. Let's go to a library and let's talk to a civil rights, someone who lived through the civil rights movement. Let's talk to a homeless person. Let's talk to an OnlyFans girl. Let's talk to these sectors. Let's talk to someone from the LGBTQ community. Like, instead of a book, talk to a living person that's in it right now. And I'm like, they had it. I checked. They had it here in Texas. I think it was in 2020. I think it was pre-pandemic. I'm trying to see if they have it again. I haven't seen it. But a human library, like I said, the one I saw is in Denmark, but they have them of quite a few countries. But this would be cool. So I just open the floor up to you two. Like, if there was a human library, what kind of person would you want to sit and have a conversation with? And we think, I'm trying to think. See, the one person I'd love to have a conversation with, and me jump the line, is not here. I'd love to have a 30-minute conversation with John Lennon. Would have loved to have a 30-minute conversation with W.B. Du Bois off top. I used to want to have a 30-minute conversation with Prince, but yeah, I don't think I can do that now.
Why?
Because he got some diddler tendencies. Like, we conveniently sweep it under the rug, but the fact that he relatively groomed Maite, that like, can't let that's I can't let the genius and musical genius get past you got some creep in you, dog. Why are you talking to a 16-year-old? Why are you pulling a BBL Drizzy? So
Actually, that would be the conversation to have. I would ask that question.
Hey, you get to do some research. Why are y'all like that?
Mm-hmm.
but don't meet your heroes. Don't meet your heroes, because we hold Prince in a certain manner. And it's just some real inconvenient truth to realize he groomed his wife. That was really, yeah. He's not the monster R. Kelly was, but yeah, it's an inconvenient truth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely love a conversation with Lennon. I'm trying to think who I talked to today. I think you know what? Not to be super controversial, I'd love to have a conversation with a trans woman, because there's a lot of stuff I just don't know, and I don't, and it's a lot of speculation about. No, seriously, just help me understand. Did you just wake up and decide, hey, I'm actually a girl trapped in a guy's body? Like, do we really have anything to worry about with y'all going in the bathrooms? Like, I'd just love to have a conversation. So instead of reading books in medical journals, no, let me actually just have a conversation with a trans woman.
Yeah. Yeah, that I've had those conversations. And I mean, I'm trying to figure out a good way, but in some aspects I understand, but then there are some other parts that I have to side eye a little bit, but I'm not one of those people that think that they are a threat to society, at all. But I do, for that small, tiny margin of people, I think there should be safety measures for both sides. I think for both sides it's important. But yeah, there's parts of that existence that I don't think that anybody will ever be able to understand unless they're actually in it. All you can really do is listen to someone's perspective, because I think from person to person, it's going to be different. Their what they what where they came to the conclusion of how they see themselves or how they feel internally. I don't think it's gonna be the same answer for every person across the board.
True. True. Yeah, true. Because my black experience is not your black experience and so on and so forth. So I totally get it. But it's just like that's yeah, if I had to borrow a person to have a conversation with, definitely a trans woman. Trying to think. Who else? Neil deGrasse Tyson seems like a great guy to have a conversation with for about a half an hour, if I could understand it. That'd be a cool dude to have a conversation for about half an hour. And just your hardcore MAGA type, you're a hardcore racist. I just love to know like what's going through your head because at least from where I'm sitting, it's so easily to debunk. So how do you wake up every day hating black folks and hating anything that's not white? What's running? Where does doctrine come from? So I think the human library would be a great chance for those who can do it. Be a great chance to learn from a completely different POV because I think, growing up in Buffalo, New York, which is a ridiculously segregated city. I think I told the story on the pod before. I used to have locks down my back, and we finished a work meeting early, and we literally spent 15 minutes talking about my hair. And I was about to get so pissed off, but I realized they literally have never seen me before. They live in suburbia. Their only contact with black folk is me. So that's how you end up becoming a representative. But yeah, that's probably my short list off the top. Who I love to borrow from the human library. Kane, who do you want to borrow?
Dead or alive? Or I gotta do one of each?
Yeah, either way, whatever. 2 or 3, whatever. Dead, alive, purgatory,
Course,
whatever.
Malcolm X, Fred
Mm.
Hampton, Bruce Lee.
Anybody alive?
I mean, all my heroes are dead. So, but alive. Who's alive?
So you have a kind of conversation with BBL Drizzy, find out what's going through his head.
I'm good. I don't want to be grouped in with that. Have a conversation with God. Yeah, that'd be great. Um, I don't know. Who do I want alive? I would say Nipsey, but he ain't alive. Would say
I
Kobe.
definitely want to have a conversation with
Would,
my homegirl AOC. Like, yeah, I love to talk to AOC.
would
I love a
say
30-minute conversation with Rhapsody.
would say Kobe, but he ain't alive either. Huh. Who's alive that I really want to have a conversation with? I don't really have any heroes that are left.
Or anybody. Like, they gotta be a hero. Just like, yo. Because I think this is a great chance to have a different perspective. To talk with someone that's
Probably a
living.
monk, like a real monk, like they actually live out. Like I want to talk to a monk. Other than that,
Yeah,
huh?
that's a crazy level of discipline. Like I get that one. I get
That's what
that.
I said. I like that. I would love to know the secrets because they do some superhuman stuff, and that's clearly from up here and within that I don't have the keys to. That I think they've somewhat unlocked some of humans' potential, but not all of it, but more than the rest of us. So I would love to speak to somebody to unlock our full potential or why it's not there. That's why I said talk to God to see what's going on, man. I would love to know a lot of stuff. But yeah.
But yeah, human library will be cool. Like I said, I didn't realize it until just now, and I think it goes back to like, I don't really like tumbling down a conspiracy theory rabbit hole, but so much. But it's like, why was this not something that was highly advertised and publicized? Like, yo, check this out. Because honestly, I still firmly believe we are not as different as we are led to believe. We're not as separate as we are led to think we are. And that separation allows certain things to proliferate. So if we could talk to people, as politicians love to say, reach across the aisle. But the more you start talking to people that are not like you, that are not from where you're from, the more you figure out we ain't all that different. And we all want the same stuff.
We're less different than we are alike. See you.
Yeah. All right. So let's run it back I'll recap. This was fun. This was fun. This was fun. Start from the top. Yeah, over under. I got the diddler in cuffs by Labor Day for something. Enjoy the summer. It's gonna be the last one for a while. I don't agree with Umar. This is one of those cases I don't agree with Umar. There's no rehabbing this. There's no running to the church and rehabbing. He's toast. Um, Roger Fortson's death, that is tragic, and it didn't have to happen. I can tiptoe and tap dance and put myself in situations all I want. Bottom line is, it didn't have to happen. I think we're again dealing with someone who, like, I'm just from a common sense perspective. If I'm in an open carry state, I know any door I knock on, a person behind it might have a blicky. I am not going to stand in a line of fire with my shield, with my badge on, and say, "Hey, I'm Superman." No, I'm not. I'm just not going to do that. Maybe it's me. I'm just not going to do that. So that is tragic, and I hope that cop is brought to justice. Morehouse, what are you thinking? What are you doing? What? Shout out to the Reverend that got in his behind, but what are you doing? Biden had no place at Morehouse graduation. I'm going to stand on that one. Happy belated to brother Malcolm, Malik El Shabazz. Yeah, I think upon further review, I think I can safely call Malcolm a revolutionary. I'm going to inspect this a little further because I didn't realize that was a conversation, but I think I can safely, relatively call Malcolm a revolutionary. And the human library is a great concept that needs to be revisited here, not just overseas, in the US. And I promise you, there are a lot of people that can learn from that kind of experience. All right. Who's up next? Who's recap? Go. When everybody jump in once.
Taking a leap of faith. All right, Diddy, over under. I'm taking the over for $1 million. That he don't get nothing before Labor Day. He might get nothing in general, but we'll see. Dr. Umar, I know a broke clock is right twice a day. It's not one of them days. Roger Fortson, yeah, it's unfortunate. And this is why we need to get all these scary ass pigs out of here and just implement the RoboCop. See, RoboCop ain't gonna do that. I mean, he probably will, but hey, at least it wasn't a human. But it won't be prejudice. Well, at least unless it's programmed that way, which is another issue. Biden at Morehouse, yeah, that's some coon-tastic stuff, coonerific, whatever you want to say. It's not cool, but they black enough, I guess. Happy belated to Malcolm X, who is a revolutionary. I didn't know that was the talks. This must be new to me. I mean, you said it, so I thought you. So which one is it? Do you think he is? Where is these talks coming from? I ain't never heard this talk before.
Oh no, no, I was just thinking about it. This was just one of my on the fly moments. I'm like, wait a minute. When I sit Malcolm next to a Nat Turner, next to a Huey P. and Bobby Seale, next to a John Brown. Well, I don't know if John Brown can actually qualify as revolutionary, but you get where I'm going. Like, what's the metric we're using? So
I mean, that turns it very extreme because it was extreme circumstance. But in terms of modern revolutionary, yeah. You put him next to the Panthers. He had the same damn idea. He was just with NUI. And he's, like I said, he spoke up for women in a time when women didn't have nothing.
Okay.
And wasn't seen that way. And it still isn't seen that way, unfortunately. But, which is why he was right. Which is why I said a lot of things didn't change, unfortunately. Except technology. But, and in the human library, yeah, all the people I want to talk to are dead or not here. So, but it would be cool to have people to speak to different cultures, different walks of life, to learn something new. I'm sure it'd be great for especially the younger generation coming in, people my age, and yeah, even people older. You can teach old dogs new tricks. That's a lie. So yeah, I think that's it. That's it.
Court, your recap.
I pretty much agree with both of you guys. I mean, I don't want to keep, I don't want to be redundant or anything like that. I do think Diddy probably will get at least until the end of the year. That much. I think he'll. I think he'll. I don't think it'll be as quite as soon as Labor Day, but before the year's out, I see it. Something's gonna come up. It's gonna get him locked up. Umar, nah, nah. He missed the mark on this one, and there's just. I mean, he can hope, but I don't see Diddy even recovering, even in any aspect. He's gonna have to just lay low and do the Kevin Spacey. You know, we ain't heard from him in a good while.
I forgot about Kev. You're right.
Right.
I told
So
you.
yeah, I don't see it for Diddy. Um, the shooting, the police related shooting, Roger. The law enforcement needs to be revamped, like really, and they need to just a lot of these police departments need to start cleaning house, because there's no way that people that have umpteen complaints in their file or incidences should still be working,
Right.
and that's a big problem. Um, Malcolm, revolutionary, no question about it. No question about that one. Um, Joe Biden, dude,
What do you?
I don't even. His VP should have told him he probably should have declined this, but you know better. But you know, she's either she should have went in his place or said no, we respectfully decline, and we pointed them in the direction of some black men that would have been a better fit.
Thank you. Well, oh yeah. And lastly, any thoughts on the human library?
I read the article, and I like the idea, and they should. I think that they should have it in the United States. They should have it available in at least 2 major cities per state, so people can people can have access to it, or an online, or maybe even an online program where people just log in and
Yeah.
providing you can get enough people who will make themselves available, for those conversations. But
Yeah,
there's
I'm mad I missed it because this was in 2020, so it was right before COVID. I'm mad I missed it. I'm guessing that might be the reason they didn't bring it back, but I know in Texas they had it here. Um, I'm not sure about Cali, but I know they had it here, and I'm like, dang it. And I'm like, again, why would this not be widespread? But gotta think about it. If you get a whole bunch of folk talking to one another, getting ideas, understanding each other, yeah, that's how you start overturning tables and upsetting the established order.
That's why they rush the pandemic, so everybody can get your asses back to work in survival mode, so y'all can stop talking and conjugate.
All right. To wrap this thing up, it has been super, super dope. I am so happy. Thank you, Courtney, for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
thank you, Beth.
Absolutely. And on behalf of myself, my awesome co-host, our amazing guest, the Yeah I Said It podcast, we will see you again next week. Peace.
Yeah.